Today we're doing Module 5, Lesson 24. The objective is to express whole numbers as fractions and recognize equivalents with different units. Materials needed for today are your online whiteboard or your whiteboard dry erase marker and dry eraser. You may want your fraction strips to help you reference. The teaching style we're going to follow is where I do it, we do it together, and you do it on your own. First up, we have a picture here and it says, what fraction does this show? So we're looking at whole number fractions, which means the whole shape is shaded in all of our examples. And we have to turn that into a fraction. So normally we would just say that this is one whole, because it is one whole shape. But we want to figure out how many pieces it's broken into. Okay, so this is broken into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So our denominator is 4. All 4 pieces are shaded because that's what we mean by one whole, is that they are all shaded. So 4 pieces are shaded out of 4 pieces altogether. So what fraction does this show? It shows the fraction 4/4. Okay, let's have you do one with me. Same thing with this one. You can see it is one whole, and they've broken it up. Take a moment and count how many pieces it's broken into. 2. It is broken into 2 pieces. Our denominator is 2. And because the whole thing's shaded, 2 pieces are shaded out of the 2 pieces altogether. So 2 halves are shaded. So you'll notice that when we have one whole, the numerator and the denominator are the same. Okay, if you look at your fraction strip that has 2 pieces, if you have 2 out of the 2 pieces, you have the whole strip. Okay, so that's how you get one whole. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you another example that's a little bit different. Okay, this time you can see that we have 1, 2, 3 pieces of bread. So this is like having 3 wholes. So let's look at just one of them for a moment. How many pieces is it broken into? 1, 2. So our denominator is 2. It doesn't matter which shape we look at, 1, 2, 1, 2. They are all broken into 2 pieces. Our denominator always tells us how many pieces our shape is broken into. So we're not counting all the pieces, we're not counting what's shaded, we're only looking at how many pieces it's broken into. For the numerator, or the top number, we do need to count how many pieces are shaded, or how many pieces in this case do we have, since we know they're all shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the fraction for this one would be 6 halves. We have 6 pieces shaded, and they're broken into halves. A little trick we can think about: if we do this as the problem 6 divided by 2, we count by 2s till we get to 6, 2, 4, 6. We had to count 3 times. So that's how we know that that's the same as 3 wholes. Okay, if you have your fraction strip and it's broken into halves, You only have 2 pieces, so you would have to have 3 fraction strips broken into halves in order to have 3 wholes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's have you do an example with me. Let's start by doing our fraction bar. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wholes. I want you to start with the denominator. Go ahead and fill in the denominator, which is what our pieces are broken into. And then I'll have you check it with me. Okay, so for our denominator, doesn't matter which whole you look at, they're all broken into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. This one's broken into 4, this one's broken into 4, they're all broken into 4 pieces. So our denominator is 4 because all of our shapes are broken into 4 pieces. Now we have to figure out how many pieces we have all together since we know they're all shaded. This is where your multiplication comes in handy. Okay, we have 5 groups of 4 pieces each. So you can count the pieces, you can just multiply 5 times 4, or you can start skip counting by 4s. I'll give you just a moment to pick which method you want to use, and then we'll check your answer with mine. Okay, so if you skip counted by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Or you might have just done 5 times 4 because you like counting by 5s. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. Either way, we get the same thing because we know that's how multiplication works. We can flip the numbers and still get the same answer. So if we count all of these pieces, if we wanted to, we could count them one at a time. There would be 20 tomato slices. Each of the tomatoes are broken into fourths. So we have 20 fourths. Now we can always check our work by doing 20 divided by 4. Count by 4s till we get to 20. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Took us 5 times, which is 5 wholes. So 20 fourths is really the same thing as having 5 wholes. All right, let's take a look at what your homework is for today. IXL skill W9, select fractions equivalent to whole numbers using area models. So it says count the equal parts. What fraction does this picture show? Okay, so first I would look at one of the kiwis and see that it's broken into 1, 2, 3 pieces. So I know I didn't need a denominator of 3. This has a denominator of 9, so it can't be that one. This has a denominator of 9, so it can't be that one. So it's going to be one of these other two because they have the correct denominator. Now I need to figure out how many pieces there are all together. 3, 6, 9. So my numerator should be 9. My fraction would be 9/3. There are 9 pieces all together, and they're broken into groups of 3. Okay, go ahead and get started.